Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. It's Champions. It's episode number 3. So there was a little delay to this episode because my old hardware, an Elgato HD Pro, uh, it was dying slowly but surely. And so recent episodes, there's either been a lag in the audio or there's been uh, occasional kind of cuts to the audio. And then most recently, I've had just flat out no audio whatsoever. And this was another one of those. So this was the final straw. I have replaced that hardware, but this is the footage minus the audio for the next 15 minutes. We're at the Tour of the Gila, and in this one, I have the objective to win a stage. We're probably not going to do so, but doesn't stop us from trying. We've got a few negative race day conditions. The team members are close enough in ability right now that realistically every day kind of comes down to race day conditions. So Star-Lord on a +5 is the guy we ride for. Hulk +3, Spider-Man +2 will lead him out. Black Panther and Thor on -3s, they go first. A lot of that comes down to simple resistance. Resistance will impact who's good to go at the end. You can see Star-Lord, the only one full energy. So we work through the guys. We're into the final 5K on this sprint finish. Thor actually pulls out a little bit because we got squeezed into the wall. Iron Man finally finds a gap through. We kind of have to back off just a little bit to allow those guys to catch up. Now we're down to just 3K to go, and there's already a handful of riders on the left-hand side, plus 4 riders sprint trying to go away. So as we hit these final 1.5K, we're going to sprint it out early, but we're coming from way behind. 3 of those 4 riders at the front remain. They're going to get overtaken on the way to the line. We're going to do what we can, see if we can at least get a top 10 out of this. Star-Lord's coming from awfully far back. Topalik takes the stage, and we miss on the top 10. Only just. We get 11th. We get 12th. Yeah, not good enough. Okay, well, on to the next stage, and it's a time trial, individual time trial. It's a gradual uphill with a quick descent, and then fairly flat, and then you come back, and so then it's a quick uphill with a gradual descent to the finish. And you see Thor on that back half of that right now. We've got Thor, Deadpool, Hulk all out there already. Hulk on a +5 today. Nice. Really looking nice. You really don't need much energy for the finish because it's downhill tuck all the way across that line. So you just got to get over the crest and a little bit beyond the crest until they go into that tuck. And then it's okay to be out of energy at that point. You see Deadpool there is where you go into that tuck. You kind of take that right-hander after the crest a little bit. There's Hulk doing it now themselves. Here's Spider-Man on a +1, so good race day condition there as well. Hulk's going to come to the line third as of right now. Minute 12 off Derek Gee. Big gap, but third through quite a few riders. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's fantastic for us. But that's entirely because of a +5 race day condition, which absolutely gave him a huge boost to his time trialing. We get Iron Man and Black Panther heading out now. Spider-Man also coming up on the line. Spider-Man is only 44th. That's the kind of times we expect, as there's only been about 60 riders out there, maybe 50. So Iron Man, Black Panther, both cruising through. That's a halfway point. I was playing this pretty quick anyway because I know we're not going to win this time trial. B, everything of this first 15 minutes of footage is sped up a bit as I'm providing this additional commentary over the top of it. And the way things played out, to see it in real time without that extra audio, the game audio, is slightly awkward. You can see Star-Lord getting past here. He is our top rider. He's 35th overall. So there's 34, well, should be 34 riders behind him. It's actually 33 as one guy has gone past him. And Star-Lord comes up to the line just 74th. So our top rider on the day is Hulk with his +5. He's now down to 11th as we get down to that final 25 riders or so. Not exactly a great finish for us in any way. As you can see, he's now down to 18th, 19th. So we just move on to the next stage. Vetkov is the leader overall. At this point, it's, I don't know, stage 4, I believe, of 5. And it's a punchy, undulating sprint finish. There's definitely some up, down, up, down, up, down to it. And that's absolutely going to be a factor as we go forward. So already through the final checkpoint, small break, 3 riders, half minute is all they have over the field. And we're looking pretty good as a team, as nobody is too tired right now. Hulk coming off his +5 a day ago, -3 today. That's not going to help. But outside of that, that's the only red we have. Spider-Man on a +4, Iron Man on a +4. So direct comparison between them sets Iron Man up to be the guy we ride for. Star-Lord to lead him, or Spider-Man to lead him out. Star-Lord to take the reins ahead of that. So Hulk goes up first, and we set ourselves up. Final 10K with a little bit of up-down along the way, and the race official riding right through the peloton. All right, so here we go. 7K to go. Hulk on just a 94 already brings us to the front. That is pretty impressive, as it's hard for us to get to the front, period, at any point in time. So we're going to go over the top of that one. There's one more little up-down right here, and then the finish is a bit up. But there's not a lot of uphill from here. It's mostly down. So already into the full push, 2.3K. Hulk is outpacing Black Panther here. That's good. Not good. And Thor kind of gets caught between the two of them and struggles a little bit to the line. And as we turn the corner for the finish, final 500 meters, we're again not in that prime position. We're just too slow of a flat rating that even when we're going 99, other riders, other teams are just simply riding past us. So we just can't pull the kind of pace necessary. So we move into the final stage, 3 climbs along the way, plus a 4th right at the finish. There is an early climb, but I don't really count those. That's barely a hill. Mostly flat through this area, so not much going on, and we're all set. Iron Man accidentally got off the front, and I didn't want him to, as he actually on a +4 was the guy I'd rather ride for the stage. So Iron Man +4, Deadpool +3, Hulk and Spider-Man with +2s. That's pretty good for us. Thor, the -4, domestique for the day. 100K to go in this one. The climbing is probably going to be way too much for us. Most likely. We'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do. But it's a tall order to get guys in the high 50s, low 60s into that position. But Iron Man, 60 base +5 on the mountain rating. That's a 65. His resistance is a 68 with a +9 help. That's a massive difference compared to what we are used to having. So we'll give it a shot. But the first climb, Peloton already breaking up a good 40 riders off the back, including Black Panther and Thor. That leaves us now with 6. Star-Lord barely made it over the top of that one. We'll get some recovery on the descent. But this is a long, flat section now. And we're just coming up on 60K. So Black Panther needs to get caught up, needs to get back into position. So we'll put him on Protect Deadpool as he's regained contact. But let's also send him back to get water as we're now at that 60K to go mark. So 2 big climbs coming. This is the big one right here. It's Cat 1. It's the steepest, but not the longest. We're covering the same elevation change as that previous Cat 2, but we're doing it in a much shorter distance, 7.5K, 7.5%. You can see how bad everybody's blinking red at 78, even though it's still 40-something K to go, and they are very much going backwards. So we need to kind of speed this up to try to hold position. We need energy, and they go through energy fast, so you don't want to go too hard too fast, but you can see immediately here's the field splitting. So Spider-Man, Deadpool kind of missing out. Hulk, we're going to put him on protection for Iron Man, get Iron Man to speed up as he's fallen to the back of the peloton, and we're only halfway up the climb. Spider-Man, Deadpool, I put on auto, hoping that they might recover and get back in, but expecting that they're probably not going to be seen again. Just 60 left in the peloton, 1 left off the front, but Iron Man surviving the big climb, and actually Hulk as well. Hulk, not much energy left, but peloton's down to 50, and I've got 2 riders left. That's huge, considering how bad our ratings are. Deadpool's still looking okay back here. Spider-Man, pretty tired, contributing. But those guys are more than 2 minutes behind the peloton. Probably not going to be seen again. One more lengthy climb, Cat 2, 8.7 at 5%. And here we go. One short little final burst, but so far so good. And we're actually even right near the front, holding position. Blinking red on the 84, but also kind of just about holding place. There's Hulk out of energy. He's gone. Ironman 1K to go to the summit, but that's the top right there. It really eases off. Barely get to 4, 5%. Back to 6 for a moment, but definitely not bad towards the finish. Now we finish that climb, but actually we're still going up. It's actually steeper here than it was back where they had the KOM point. Now we're officially over the top, and Ironman's still in a peloton of just 27. Progress, folks. Of course, +4 race day condition having so much to do with it, but he is one of the final 27 in this group. Not a lot of energy. Gel just kicking in. 2.7K to go. 3.5 kilometer climb. We're already more than a kilometer into it, but it's only 2.8%. It's just a little uphill finish. As we hit the final K, Ironman, little bit of energy coming up on the line. Trying to sprint, just can't really compete with these guys who have a lot of energy left. You can see a small group fading, and we're outpacing them, but everybody else is kind of just bursting past us. Hank takes a win, Ben King second, Britain third, and we grabbed 21st position, but we were in the final group. I mean, can you believe it? We were in the final group. It's amazing. Final standings, 35th overall for Ironman. He's supposed to be the time trialist, but right now everybody's so locked in together. And with that ceiling, the 85s, they seem to just kind of rise instead of taking shape, taking form on their specialty. You get a little bit of random of everything. All right, well, we're checking the next day, and our sponsor confidence goes from almost 50% to under 10 to total failure. That was only our second objective of the year, and we take a major dip in the sponsor confidence, a very worrying dip. So we're going to take a look at the sponsors here and see what it is, why it is, what can we do about it, because it's going to be really hard to get results. There's only 4 more objectives. They're all minor, but so are the first 2. We're not going to gain anything in results. The noteworthy, none of it's there. The squad, I should have gotten something for the squad evaluation because it's an American team. I've got a bunch of American riders. I should have had some sort of positive twist on that for the number of riders, at least. Maybe not the popularity, but the number. And I'm not getting that. So I've gone in, and when we go back to live footage with the new hardware, you'll have to let me know how the video and audio is with that. This scene is still on the old hardware. A little bit whitewashed. I've never been happy about how it's a little bit whitewashed. I really cleaned up the quality a while back. My video file sizes went massive compared to what they had been when I made all those changes and new graphics card and all that. But now upgrading to the 4K Pro from Elgato instead of the HD Pro, but also switching software from their own recording software to OBS. Hopefully that's no longer going to be an issue and we don't have this whitewashed content any longer. But again, let me know on that coming up. So this is that. We have what we have. 59, 55s, we're not there. But I'm going to go ahead and get back into the game and see what we can do. But also I've edited the database. I was missing a piece. They should have cared, the sponsor, should have cared about the American riders, but they weren't caring. I forgot to set up one piece of that, so I went back in and edited that. So when we reload, we'll see how that part of the evaluation works. And how helpful will it be? Well, we've got the number of riders, so at least it's going to be a little boost. We don't have the reputation, but we'll at least have number of riders. So hopefully that'll push us back above 10%. And with nothing else going on, maybe, just maybe, we'll hang on to that and keep a 10% or better. New hardware, video, audio, both this time now. So let me know how it looks and if I need to adjust anything. We're at the Winston-Salem Classic. It is a sponsor objective. We need a top 10 overall. And we've now gone long enough. It's late May that we have some level 4s and some level 5s in terms of how many times everyone has leveled up. A couple things. One, level 5 to level 6 is where we start going from 100 points per level to 200 points per level, meaning it's going to start getting slower other than those riders that are still on level 4. So that's going to be a thing. That's something we're going to have to watch out for. Another one is we're late enough into the season and we've had lots and lots of gaps in between races, and half the team can get into a race and half the team can't. That motivation is low across the board now. Everybody is feeling the frustration of not getting enough
the pack has taken its foot off the gas.
Saddle.
The team leaders can't be too worried about the breakaway.
So everybody was expected to have a -1 today. Actually done fairly okay. That Captain America's got a +2 compared to what's expected, and a few zeros, and only one was below what was expected. So not bad. That
somebody's come a cropper in the pack.
But
thank goodness
this is the first time that we've had an objective that wasn't a stage win. And with that 5th level for a lot of riders, we've got quite a few riders here that are now a 60 overall. Black Widow's a terrible example with her negative race day condition, but we should be seeing Wolverine's not looking bad, even though they're on a -1. Gamora, 0. +1s kind of spread evenly. She's a 60 mountain, a 63 sprint. That could be helpful.
The lead rider is now more than 2 minutes ahead of the peloton.
This is a 60, time
the
trials
pack is
60.
increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
So go ahead and protect your sister there. We've got Ant-Man is a 61 sprint, 61s in some other areas, and Groot's not looking so good. So I think Wolverine. Oh no. Do I have anybody besides Captain America? Why? Gamora is absolutely our fastest. Do we have anybody else? Ant-Man, I guess. It's not that bad off, but I don't know if I want Wolverine is the other, as they are quite slow. 59 flat rating at least. Could be somewhat helpful.
Look, the pack has taken its foot off the gas. The team leaders can't be too worried about the breakaway.
Nebula's 59. Doesn't make a massive difference here. So we'll set everybody up for the long roll. It's a big break. 15 riders ended up making it into the break today. They have a 3-minute gap. Hopefully it does not get any larger than that. Otherwise we will be in a bit of trouble. It's just a classic. This is not a stage race. And again, for the first time, top 10 objective means we have a shot. It's not a great shot, but it's a shot. We've been right around top 10 possible in any sprint stage. Just outside or just inside. We're pretty much anywhere from about 7th to 12th is our finishing range, with kind of 50% above, 50% below, meaning we've got a 50% shot of claiming a top 10 today, and they are slightly better than they were last time we raced.
Not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly
race day
increased
conditions
its
aren't
speed.
helpful with only a single +1. So that part's not great, but we'll see. We might be able to get that top 10 today. We're definitely not going to be racing for the win. We're just going to be racing to try to get that top 10. These short little punchy sections are going to do a little damage to this team as we go forward. The gap is holding at 3, so that's a good sign. If that was getting larger and larger, we'd be in a world of trouble, as we are certainly not equipped to pull back the peloton or pull back a breakaway with this team. 120k to go. Black Widow's -2 is the weak link of the day. 59 sprint is not too bad compared to teammates. First water stop. Making our way pretty quickly through this. 98k to go. I like that the pace isn't too bad. I also like that the breakaway we've caught up a little bit. It's down to 220. Wolverine and Gamora go down in a crash. Of course, it's our top sprinter of the day is the one who goes down.
A really bad fall. It's a shame, but he's not going any further. Uh-oh, a leader has fallen. We can only hope that it doesn't have any impact on the outcome of the race.
Out.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed. A rider has just thrown in the towel.
There's the peloton, but it's pretty strung out.
So this is the last third of the race.
91, and we can't even keep up with this group. It just split off, and we missed out, even though Gamora's going at a 91. A flat rating of 60, 61 is not enough. Wolverine, you're going to have to contribute.
The pace is really hot,
gosh,
so for
we
the
both
moment,
just got dropped.
Seriously,
Seriously, we got dropped by those 4 riders. Again, Gamora was doing a 91, and she can't keep up. We might miss out on these guys. We need to make sure we're keeping tempo up there so we don't get anybody else dropped. We still have a shot,
Fall in the pack.
Losing Gamora out the back because of a crash and then not being able to catch back up because, well, we're just too weak. The group pushes and they ride away from us. We've regained contact with this group now, and 3 riders go out the back, and the 3 that are actually working hard ride away from us.
Watch out! A team leader is falling behind.
Jail for Wolverine. We're not going to last much longer. I don't think we're going to be able to get Gamora back up there. Does not look likely, and that hurts our chances a lot. For one, we lose 2 riders.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
Quickest
they
rider
obviously
on the
don't
day.
have anybody in the breakaway group.
Let's see, Nebula's gone backwards and is struggling to go forward again. '89 riders chasing 15. It looks like some of the riders regained contact, and I'm guessing that was the group we were in, and we're 4 minutes behind, so yeah, no, it's not happening.
The pack is putting the squeeze on the breakaway. Aha! He's trying to give his pals the slip.
Solo.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking. The peloton has significantly increased its speed.
All right, no more risk. Can't afford to. We're down to 30k to go. I need to get water. Let's send Nebula back for it. She's at the back of the group. 79 here. The 15 are still away, but the gap is under a minute. And that group is split up. Oh, Nebula. Oh, she got split off for a second. She's out of red bar. Black Widow's going backwards. This is turning out to be a pretty difficult race. Okay, set you to auto. Gamora got nowhere near. She's long gone. And all of a sudden I'm down to 4 riders, and 2 of them are totally exhausted. Nebula only got water to Black Widow and nobody else.
And he sprints away in attack. The pace is so high that a few riders are going to be very sore at the end of the day.
We're down to 53 at the front, and I've really only got 2 riders left. And we're supposed to get a top 10 here. We're down to 42. That helps our chances a little bit.
The finish line
Groot's
is
still
getting
here,
close.
but Groot
The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
10k to go. So Groot, auto, and let's take a look. Ant-Man, 61 flat, 61 sprint, 58 resistance. Captain America also 58 resistance, much less of a sprint, much less flat. So Captain America, protect Ant-Man. Very thirsty. Never got our final round of water.
While the pack
here.
is getting close to the finish line, everybody seems to agree that the
see
stage
3 or 4
will be won in a
riders
sprint.
getting off the front.
Oh, a rider has taken a tumble.
26K.
Fortunately, nobody went down with him.
It's back together at the front, but we're down to 41, and we're seeing a bit of an acceleration, something I can't respond to terribly well with just 2 riders.
5 kilometers remaining.
Down to 25 at the front. This is bettering our chances of a top 10 finish. 4.5k to go, coming up on it. Ant-Man's in okay shape. And suddenly, the pace is lifted and we're able to get to the front with 3k to go. This is really good for our chances. 2.3K to go.
There we go.
Captain America leading out Ant-Man. Right at the front here. Ant-Man up the hill. Up the hill. Come on, Ant-Man. Come on, Ant-Man. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. This is a lot of riders going past us. Oh, come on, come on, come on. That's not going to be a tough... Oh, gosh, this is close. This is close. Eric Young takes the win. Ben King second. 8, 9, 10. Oh, come on. 11th. 11th.
We're waiting for the back markers, who appear to be fairly numerous in this difficult race.
Agonizingly close. So close. That was an absolutely horrible race for us. 90% of that horrible nature of that race was losing our top rider to a crash. Luckily, not injured at least. Not that it matters. Our races are so few and far between. But that hurt massively. And then just the fatigue factor, right? If we would have had 3 riders left at the end there, Captain America, Ant-Man, and Gamora, with that order, instead of Ant-Man going for the finish, Gamora going for the finish, after Ant-Man does the last little piece of lead out, we get that top 10. We do, because of, you saw how close we were. It was not even half a bike length to Robin Carpenter. We're so far, but the development has been there. I mean, we've got 5 levels, and they've all picked up about 10 attribute points. Well, not quite across the board, enough for the average. Progress has slowed a little bit. I mean, Ant-Man's acceleration is a 54. He's only picked up 4 points through 4 or 5 levels. But, you know, that's not a terrible thing. They picked up about 10 points, or an average, let's say 8 points, it looks like to me, for Ant-Man. An average of 8 of all attributes in 4 or 5 levels. That's still 1.5 to 2 per for every attribute. That's pretty dang good, and makes me believe that it is possible that this experiment will head the right direction, will work relatively well, but of course those gaps get further and further out on the levels, so it's going to get harder and harder to level up. The quick, easy ones are just about behind us. Now, 200 points is still not much, right? If we can do 5 levels in 5 months, we could do the next 5 levels in about 10 months. That's not that far. Next March, next April, we add another 5 levels if we've picked up from a 50 to a 60 average. For a lot of riders, then we're looking at going from 60 to maybe 70 or maybe 68, 69. That's competitive by next March. It's not too bad. I can work with that. But we've got to do something to survive this season, and coming up 1 position short when we desperately need a couple sponsor objectives is rough, especially when there's only 6 to work with. And the next one, I think, is another stage win requirement. So we only have 2 more top 10 opportunities ahead of us. Sponsor confidence looks up right now, but maybe it's still up. Maybe it's only a partial failure and actually will stay partway up. We'll see what tomorrow looks like. But I'm keeping my my hopes relatively minor on this one. I'm not expecting much. But you see most of the teams at 60. Like I said, some of them are still level 4, so not everybody's hit that mark. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there it is. It is higher than it was, though. We are right at that 10%. Another partial failure or 2, even if it's still failure, is better than where we were, from literally nothing to getting a little something. Anyway, progress is coming. It's happening. We were so close that time. It would have been nice to get a result there, because it would have made a huge difference on the sponsor confidence. That's all we have to worry about this season. So far, the experiment is going really well. Can I keep my sponsor and not have a major financial issue going forward? Hopefully. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.